Tonight, you may have seen the news that we broke earlier this evening in Sharry, which, of course, this week is being hosted by Danica DiGiorgio, that on October 12th, which will be just after, a few days after the second anniversary of October the 7th, we will have protesters, pro-Palestinian protesters, descending on the steps of the Sydney Opera House to once again demonstrate. Now, of course, we remember the ugly scenes in the days after, the aftermath of October 7, nearly 2 years ago, where we had people protesting at the Opera House. And we remember the chants from there that originally were, F the Jews, etc., that was later decided it was something else anyway. They're going to come back and try it on again on October the 12th. They've put out a statement this evening. By the way, today is Yom Kippur, which is the holiest day on the Jewish calendar, so read into that what you will, whether or not this is a coincidence or not. But they said they're going to rock up on October the 12th, and in their statement they say that the 7th of October 2025 will mark 2 years since Israel launched its genocidal campaign against the Palestinian people. There is no mention, by the way, in this statement at all about Hamas in any way, shape or form. And October 7 was when Hamas went in and slaughtered the most Jews who'd ever been killed in a single day since the Holocaust. It also goes on to, on more than one occasion, and I thought it must have been a mistake at first, because the second paragraph refers to 680,000 Palestinians have been killed in the war. And I thought, they've added an extra zero to that, right? Surely this is wrong. But then later in the piece, the bloke who sent out this statement, Amal Nasser, who's from the Palestine Action Group, again uses that number in quotes that are directly attributable to him. He says over 68,000 Palestinians have been killed in 2 years. 68,000. I've not seen 680,000, I should say, not 68,000. I've not seen that number anywhere. So they're fabricating numbers. They refuse to say anything about Hamas having anything to do with this. October 7 was where a genocide against Palestinians started. And also, I want to know, why are they doing it on October the 12th? Like, it's this, and I get that they normally demonstrate on a Sunday, as they have over the last 2 years, right? And October the 12th is the Sunday. But you'd think if you were that dedicated to the cause, that you could get a bunch of people to come out and gather on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night on the 7th or the 8th of October, couldn't you? No, we must wait until Sunday, because that's what our people are used to. I mean, the whole thing's just pathetic, right?
It's absolutely disgusting. And I think Australians are sick and tired of seeing our national icons be hijacked by foreign wars. The Harbour Bridge, the Opera House again. Now, under New South Wales law, apparently it's illegal to actually protest on the Opera House. So if Chris Minns and the police actually are going to stand by the laws that they've applied to Jewish groups, by the way, when they've tried to protest or hold events at the Opera House, well, then they need to stop this. But this is the mob mentality that's going to take over. They want to get thousands and thousands of people down there to try and overwhelm police and ram their way onto the Opera House. This is un-Australian. It's disgusting. And the figures they're pulling out of their butt, 680,000. Where is that from? Provide a source. Even Hamas sources aren't saying that. This is ridiculous and embarrassing.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. And I think this is just an absolute disgrace that they have put this out. And you just read Caleb, the first paragraph here, and it almost makes it sound as if Israel, just for no reason, just decided to go into Gaza. It's nothing to do about seeking justice for those that were slaughtered. And where are any mention about the hostages that are still being held in Gaza? It is just the most disgraceful. But this is what we're used to now, though. This is the real sad reality of this group, that they are out there most weekends protesting. They have taken up our streets. This is now the third time that they're going to be using one of our iconic landmarks, the second time with the Opera House. And I just think this is now enough. We're in the process of organising a ceasefire. They're now saying they're calling for immediate sanctions on Israel. They want to have an end to the arms trade. Before, it was all about calling for peace in Gaza. And then now that there is talks of a peace negotiation, oh, no, we're not going to talk about that now. It's about sanctioning Israel and removing the arms. It's like, well, what do you guys want? This is very clearly, in my opinion, very anti-Israel.
Well, they've achieved a great deal in all the protests they've had every Sunday since October 7, haven't they? So why would this be any different, honestly? Can we just get the water cannons out? Like, I'm just sick of it at this point. Just bugger off. If the biggest thing you've got to worry about is a war on the other side of the world that most likely you have no connection to whatsoever, then go and get a job, quite frankly.